Hello and good day, folks. Covering, lucky number 13. Applying deductive reasoning to form a logical argument in various contexts. Remind me what inductive reasoning is. We covered this in CO11. What is inductive reasoning? Because deductive reasoning is the one that we want to go with. Caleb?
Specific to different.
Small, big.
We actually brought up the science term to start this one, but in the mathematical sense.
General to specific.
How did we define it in this class, Caleb?
Conclusions based on patterns or past experience.
Yes, conclusions based on patterns or past experiences. Inductive reasoning is very informal. Okay, it's very informal. It's a snap decision, snap judgment. Your brain just kind of jumps to conclusions, right? When you jump to a conclusion, you're using inductive reasoning. Okay, what we're going to be using to write proofs, and what you will hopefully eventually use when you argue, is something called deductive reasoning. Okay, this is more formal. Deductive reasoning would be conclusions. We're going to start over. Neat handwriting today. Conclusions based on facts, definitions, or accepted neat handwriting, or accepted properties. Okay. The key word that goes with deductive reasoning is logic. Okay, logic. In your math packets, they used to be called logic packets. Especially those first two questions on there, the word problem stuff. You need to use deductive reasoning, okay, to answer those. Pattern blocks. Based on patterns, more informal stuff here, but logic goes hand in hand with deductive reasoning. Okay. So then what is the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning? Okay. One thing that we talked about, I gotta calibrate this. That's why my handwriting's so messy. My board's not calibrated.
Speed run.
Oh, you got some good days.
Okay. There we go. Informal, okay, where deductive reasoning is formal. No, it was supposed to be an I, but it got there we go. Informal, where deductive reasoning is formal. Okay. Inductive reasoning is oftentimes, quick, a snap decision. You jump to a conclusion, whereas formal is more thought out. It's a process. Okay. What other differences do you see, or do you want to say here? I think informal and formal are kind of the two biggest ones here. What is a situation for which it might be best to use inductive reasoning? Great.
All right. Looking outside, kind of for the weather.
Okay, something that isn't really a big life decision. What you're going to wear today. If you're wrong, you just go back inside and change, right? You don't need to sit down and really think about what you're going to wear. And I think that's why my kids are late to school every day. They're too deductively deciding what they're going to wear. Yeah.
What you're going to eat for the day, it's pretty quick decision.
What you're going to eat for the day? Well, some of us really think through. Which fast food place has the best deal tonight? Thursday?
Meetups.
Quick Trips, right? Meetup, yeah. So yeah, no, what you're gonna eat might be more of an inductive reasoning. Okay. Actually, when you're driving, you don't have experience probably driving yet, but sometimes you have to just go off of reaction.
I drive.
You don't have to tell me how legal or illegal you are.
In Iowa.
But like, Joe,
I drive.
When I'm pulled up to a stop sign and I'm seeing that the car to my right doesn't seem to be slowing down as they should come up to a stop sign, I mean, I'm gonna have to make a quick decision as far as how I'm gonna handle that situation. Based on past experiences, a car going that fast is not gonna be able to stop the time. Therefore, I better start to slow it down myself. Okay? I don't have time to sit there and really formally think about it. It's a snap decision. It's a reaction. Right? What were you writing down? Are you just copying down what I'm saying, or are you putting down your own examples here? Copying down. Anybody put down an original thought?
No.
Write down an original thought. When was the time? Think about the last time that you legitimately used inductive reasoning here. Think about it. Think about your day. Think about your week. When was the last time that you made a decision based on or conclusion based on inductive? Just write it down. You don't need to share it with me right now. Write it down.
We put our uniforms on, we decide.
Write it down. Joe, which direction do you think the front of the room is?
I was telling someone that I used to
Yeah,
in my exam.
For like the 5th time today, you turn around. Face this direction.
I think is the mic unmuted?
No, it is not. Yeah.
So in the video, it's just like a bunch of just
Yeah.
free screen.
Yeah. Currently.
Are you gonna roll now?
Oh, is the mic unmuted? Yes. What I'm saying right now is being recorded. And what you're saying is being recorded too.
Just say it was Jeff.
Who would like to share what they wrote down for their example of inductive reasoning? Okay, this might very well be a test question where all your answers are going to be different. Because I asked you for a personal experience where you made an inductive decision. Okay, so let's practice this. Michael.
I flipped a coin to decide if I did my math homework or not.
No, that wouldn't be. You can't flip a coin to decide if you did something. You can flip a coin to decide if you will do something. But once in the past, a random coin isn't going to determine whether
Does
or not.
that really matter that much right now, though?
I'm just pointing out that on a test that would be an incorrect.
Well, if it's that big a deal, then don't call him.
Gino.
Driving at night.
Sorry.
Driving at night.
What about that?
Like
You drove at night?
like driving in a familiar place when it's dark out.
I want something from your life that you have done.
Well,
Are you admitting to the world and my 212 subs that you've driven at night as a 13, 14?
at
12,
my cabin,
6.
I can drive our side by side.
Okay, let's stick to more realistic. Blake?
Like 95% of all conversations.
Conversations. Yeah, you might not know. I did not know this conversation was going down this road.
Like
today,
right now,
but
I'm
here we are.
making stuff up.
Making things up as you go. Sure. Does anybody have a serious, legitimate answer
No.
to the last time you made a decision, a conclusion based on inductive reasoning? Caleb.
When you get dressed yourself on a school day for our school, since we wear a uniform, you're making the automatic choice saying
What's clean, right?
Yeah, what's clean?
What's not wrinkled enough to show? Sure, I'll accept that. Maggie,
Shooting a pheasant.
how so?
When it pops up, you gotta see if it's a girl or a boy, and then once you see it's a boy, then you shoot it.
Why can't you shoot female pheasant? I honestly, man,
It's illegal.
Are you saying?
Really?
How do you
Blake.
The boy pheasant has like a red head, and then the female turns pure brown.
Blake.
Dear, my boys are close.
Joe. Hey, folks, Drew and Schlafer and Joe, it's time. Jesus, Joe. Stop talking. Blake, go ahead again. Sorry.
No, I feel interrupted twice.
I feel your pain. I really do. Gino.
Joe's dog after he shoots the pheasant. he has the urge just to go fetch it.
Okay. I'm afraid to ask, but what is a situation for which it might be best to use deductive reasoning, where you actually make a decision based on factual information, definitions, accepted properties? Again, this is what we're going to be doing when we start getting to proofs and things like that. We're not going to say, because it looks like it, right? Or because this was the answer last time. It actually makes, yeah, great.
Like whether you should go, if we enjoyed that weather outside, whether you should like let's say it's snowing, like a blizzard, if you should go outside and drive your car.
Sure, and that might be a crossover because if you had experience driving out in bad weather before, you might say, the last time it was like this, the roads were like this, therefore I want to assume they're going to be like this again. To make that truly deductive, you would have to actually go out, go for a little bit, test drive a little bit, drive down the street.
You do your research, like you look at
But it's-
forecast and all that.
Yeah, but still, a given forecast, you are in a much better position, and your parents are in a much better position to know what the roads are going to be like, when it's 30 degrees and raining, versus someone who, from the south that hasn't experienced that before, right? So when you hear that forecast, unless you're actually out there, you're drawing on past experiences and say, this is what it's probably going to be like, even though you might not be quite sure, okay? But crossover, I would say that's a crossover.
Okay, this
Joey.
is an actual serious one. So when you're going on a trip and you need to decide, which involves a lot of money, you need to plan out where you want to go.
Thank you. Yes. If you're going to budget for a trip or for the year ahead, you have to sit down and plan it out a little bit. That would be deductive reasoning. Excellent. You research prices. Okay, look for the best option. Caleb?
If you're making a merch line for a YouTube
Making a
channel.
merch line. Yeah, you don't just want to put out junk. You want to make sure it's what people want. Exactly. Blake?
Decide whether or not to do the homework.
No. The answer should always be yes to that. Mackie, warning for you. Anybody else? Gino? Oh, Gino.
So it's like the middle of winter, and it's a little bit warm outside, and it rains, and then it gets cold, and then
So like 30 degrees and
So
raining?
you're walking up, so you go outside, and you step on the road, and you slip and fall, so you know the roads are icy.
Yes.
So you decide not to go drive.
Yes, because you've actually experienced what the conditions are outside. I should use that example earlier. Anything else? Okay, all right. So you've seen these in your math packets before, and this is an example of a logic puzzle. Logic puzzles are inherently deductive reasoning because you really need to look at the clues. Okay. I thought you liked these in the math packet.
We don't.
Maybe that's 7th grade. That
We
liked
don't.
math packet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's like 7th grade.
Your job here is to ultimately decide at what time each guide leaves, where that tour is going, and how many people are in the group. So where is the 7 o'clock tour going? Who is the guide, and how they get it? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. So as we've talked about before in the packets, rarely will a clue actually give you an answer. Instead, it will probably give you what you can eliminate, right? And then from that, you can deductively reason what actually is happening here. So the tour with 10 people will begin 1 hour after phase tour. That doesn't tell us when phase tour is. It doesn't tell us where the 10 people are going. But I'm not saying what doesn't it tell us, but what can we eliminate based off of this? The tour with 10 people will begin 1 hour after phase tour. Will?
Her tour doesn't have 10 people.
Phase tour cannot be the same tour as the one with 10 people, right? Because the one with 10 people is an hour after her. We can eliminate Faye and 10 people. So I'm going to put an X where Faye and 10 intersect there. Okay. What else can we eliminate here? Blake?
Phase tour can be a group of 12.
Why can't phase tour be a group of 12?
Because it's not a group of 10 and their tour is after phase. No, it begins 1 hour, never mind.
Okay. So I think we've eliminated everything that we can as far as group size here, but there is something about the time of phase tour we can also get rid of, Joe.
10 a.m. because it can't have another tour after that.
Right. Faye can't be the last tour. Okay, because if there's a tour 1 hour after hers, she cannot be the tour at 10 a.m. because there is no tour after 10 a.m. right? So that's what we're kind of looking for here, right? What can you eliminate? Not always what can I conclude. Thomas?
Like a group of 10 people can't go at 7 a.m.
The group of 10 people can't go at 7 a.m., right? Because that's the first tour of the day. The group of 10 people is after phase. 10 and 7 a.m. can be eliminated as well. That cannot be the first one. So all this information that we can get, or what it can't be, just based off of this. Okay. Of Bonita's tour and phase outing, one will be at 8 a.m. and the other will start at Yorkville. Anything we can get from that? Drake?
Would phase tour be at 8 because there's one after it?
Okay, it could be at 9, right? Or it could be at 7. All we know is that Faye can't be at 10. I mean, it could be the one at 8, right? Because it says here's 2 tours, here's 2 possibilities. So Faye's could be at 8, but I don't know if there's enough to definitely say that for sure. Because we don't know anything about any of the other places. We can't definitively say that Bonita's the one that starts at Yorkville and Faye's is the one that will be at 8. Sometimes there are clues that aren't very helpful until you get to further down in the list. You know, once you start to eliminate some more places, maybe you realize, oh, Yorkville has to be Faye's, or Yorkville has to be Bonita's base. So it might well come back to it. Is there anything that we can conclude? Yeah.
Adriana and Dustin's cannot be at 8.
How do you get that from clue 2?
Oh wait.
We're not jumping too far ahead here.
Oh,
Because we jump too far ahead, then people will kind of get lost at where we're at. So anything else we can determine from clue 2? Ooh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. We'll see who this is. Who had better answer this. Hello. I do. Okay, so leaving for the day. All right. Okay. Bye. Do you know who you are? Yes, you do. Okay.
Yes.
So long, Schleifer. This will be homework to do for the weekend then. Okay. Some folks have their hand up here. What can we eliminate or conclude from clue number 2? Do you know?
The 8 a.m. trip can't be done.
Right. The 8 a.m. trip can't be going to Yorkville because there are 2 different trips. Okay. So whenever a clue has 2 different things in it, you can usually eliminate, right? And again, you should have some experiences with the math packets. You've had 2 or 3 of them now, 2 of them maybe. Okay. But 8 a.m. and Yorkville can't be headed there. All right. So, yes.
Wait, how come is it jumping ahead to say that Ariana and Dustin can't go to Yorkville?
Well, we haven't introduced Ariana or
Oh, just
Dustin yet. We were only on clue 2. You know, like which clue did you read that drew you that conclusion?
just because since one guy goes to each different location. Then
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was locked in. We haven't introduced them yet. Caleb, explain it. You are brilliant. Say what you said again. And I think actually, who was the first
it was
one to say this?
Too, I was thinking that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Whoever. Yeah. Caleb was. Go ahead.
Dustin or Ariana can't go to Yorkville because either Faye or Bonita goes.
Thank you. Yes. And who was the first person that brought that up? Joey. Brilliant. Yeah. Dustin and Ariana cannot be at Yorkville either. So Dustin and because we know that Bonita or Faye have to be there. Thank you. Thank you. See, I'm still learning how to deduce myself. Sir.
They also can't be at 8 a.m.
They also can't be at 8 a.m. Okay, so Dustin and Adriana not at 8 a.m. either. All right, we'll stop there because clearly I'm only leading you down the wrong path with my explanation. So this is going to be due for Monday. Tomorrow is a retake day. Khan Academy is due tonight. The football pick'em is a Schultz Buck bonus. Okay. Yes, Mackie.
Dustin's trip won't be at 10.
Why can't Dustin be at 10?
Because it says on clue number 5.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You can eliminate that also. Michael, what's up?
Just figuring it out myself.
This what?
I'm just figuring it out. Okay. I'm using deductive reasoning.
Are you? Very good. Very good.
Like the general. and this-
Okay, Joe.
I've got a, okay, I think phase is at 7.
Okay, we'll talk about this off camera. This video is already train wrecked enough time. So that's how I math, folks.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.